start the recording and sharing the screen. And one other thing that you have to remember is when we are talking about these networks, LAN is the smallest and collection of several number of LANs, several number of local area networks will provide you a metropolitan area network. And then like a combination of lots of lands as well as mans, like when it is covering a very big ground, we call it a wide area network, right? So that is what we were talking last time. And today we are going to go to the network topologies, right? So network topology, but did we write about the network topology, people? Just confirm me. I am just having a memory that we were writing about the topologies as well. Did we?
No, sir, we didn't write about this.
Right, great, great. Okay, so regarding the network topologies, now topologies means like what are the ways that we can create local area networks, or like what are the methods, right? So there are many ways, like we can build a house in different patterns. So the very same way we can create the networks in different models, right? And those different models has its benefits as well as its drawbacks, right? So let's talk about like one after the other. So hold on, I'm getting some chats over here. All right, okay, right, okay. All right, so the first topology that we are going to talk about is the star topology. Now, you have experienced a star topology in your school, right? Your school laboratory is having a central device, which is called a switch in most of the cases, where you can see it on the wall, like secured inside a metal box, fixed into your wall at the top of your wall, right? And you can see some device inside there who is like popping up the lights, like nivi nivi pattuena valtien, right? So you can see some device there in your laboratories, most of your laboratories. I think almost everyone should got something like that, because when we set up a laboratory to a school, switch is a must, network is a must. So that particular device, the switch, is called the central device. That the central device is connected with all other computers and the devices in your computer lab, right? So what is happening here is, like, if you need to like communicate, not actually you, if a one particular device need to communicate with another particular device, it should go through this central device, right? So if I illustrate it to you in this particular picture, right? So let's assume this particular computer. Let me take another color. It's a bit dark. Okay, so if you consider this particular computer is going to give, like it's trying to have a printout from this printer. So that data will comes to or travel to the hub, then from hub or switch, it will travel to the particular printer, right? So like in star topology, if a device need to communicate with any other device, it must go through the central device, right? And this is called star topology, not because it is arranged as a star, because of the concept, right? Because the concept in the star topology is it should have a central device, and that central device should be connected with all other devices. Now, if I draw a diagram something like this, and if this is going to be a switch, and if this is going to be the let's say personal computers, and this is a printer, and this is another personal computer, still this is a star topology, because the concept, right? There is a central device, So all other devices connects with the central device to have the communication, right? So that is what we say as the star topology, right? And regarding the next topology that we have to talk about, the bus topology. Now, bus topology is different, or like it has a complete different structure from the star topology, and we call this as a bus topology because in this network there is a main road, or like a main connection, which is helping to travel the data here and there, right? So that main data line, it has two terminators at the end, right? Indicating the line ends from this particular points, right? So to that main cable, or we call it a backbone, so that backbone is connected with the other devices, right? So they will be having the connection to the bus or to the backbone to receive the data from each and every one. So if this computer needs to communicate with this computer, so it should come out of the data should come out of that computer and travel through the bus and should get into this particular computer, right? So that is what we call bus topology, right? Now in this bus topology, in case if they had a harm to, or like if they have a break down to the backbone, the entire network will be collapsed, right? So the backbone is the one which we call as the single point of failure, right? ඒක තමයි network එක fail කරන්න පුළුවන් එකම තැන කියලා අපි කතා කරන්නේ, right? So like if any of these devices got breakdown, it won't affect the network, right? So if this particular PC is not working, so it's just that PC which cannot communicate with the others, or like not working. All others can still do the communication. But if something happens to the backbone, your entire network is going to get down, right? So similarly, in the star topology, if the central device affects, right? If the central device is broken, again, the entire network is broken. So very same way, in the star topology, we say the central device is the single point of failure, right? And in the very same way as the bus topology, if any device got breakdown, it won't affect on the other devices of the network or to the network, right? Okay, then we are having something called ring topology. Now, this is called ring topology because it's arranged in a circular manner. Now, it doesn't mean you need to arrange this particular network like into the shape of a circle, right? You can arrange it like to have something closed, like according to some particular path, which is a closed path, right? Which can be a circle and which cannot be. But sometimes it won't be. But it should have that idea, or like the concept, it is getting connected. So what is the concept? The concept is a particular device should connect with two other devices from its sides, right? So likewise, each and every device will connect with two other devices, right? එක හරියට පෙර අත්ත අල්ලගෙන නේද අපි PTE කරනකොට we are making a circle, so that particular manner, right? So දැන් මේ මම නිල් පාටින් ඇඳපු diagram එක, it's not a circle, right? And it's not a ring, but still it performs a ring topology because each and every device is connected to the adjacent other two devices, right? And again, when it comes to the ring topology, communication can be done in a one particular direction. So like either you can communicate clockwise or you can communicate counterclockwise, right? වාමාවර්තව හරි දක්ෂිණාවර්තව හරි තමයි වැඩ කරගන්න වෙන්නේ, right? Not to the both, not to the both the sides, right? One particular side. So it is configured. When it is configuring, we have to say to which particular rotation that the ring topology is going to perform. And in ring topology, breakdown of a computer or a particular line will harm the network, right? Yes, Inupama will come to you. Will come to that particular point, right? So, අපි notes ටික ලියා ගන්නකොට මම පොඩ්ඩක් ආයි කියන්නම් කොහොමද කියලා, right? So, as I told you, in ring topology, if a particular connection got break, then the entire network is going to get affected from that. Or a particular device got break, again, the network is going to affect from that. In previous two topologies, we didn't have that problem, right? Apita device එක අවුල් වුණොත්, the network is still safe in the in the star topology and in the bus topology, but not in the ring topology. In the ring topology, either the cable or the device breaks, the network is going to get affected. Right. And the next one is called the tree topology, right? So it is given the name tree because it is arranged as a tree topology, like it has the branches and all these things like a tree, right? But here, as you can see a component where we found in the bus topology, right? So what is the component? The component is the bus, the main bus. It's here, right? And to this bus, in the bus topology, they connected the devices directly. Now to create the tree topology to this bus, they are connecting the devices like hubs and switches, right? So as you can see, here it got a hub and a switch. Here it got a hub or a switch. And those will be having the devices connected to them. So it is like a bus topology is connected with a star topology. So this particular part along is a star topology, and this particular part along is a star topology, right? So likewise, we can recognize the tree topology in this particular manner. The last one is called the mesh topology, right? So the mesh topology is the most expensive topology to establish because it consists of data connections, like individual data connections to each and every other device, right? So as you can see it on the picture, right? If you consider one particular device, it is given the data connection to this device as well as this device, as well as to here, as well as here, right? So each and every device connected with each and every other devices individually, right? So if you think about any device in this network, it has a separate connection with all other devices, right? So this is called the mesh topology, and it is the most expensive one, but it gives a very smooth data communication between the devices, because like it is like we are having many different roads to achieve a particular destination. In all other topologies, they had only one particular path to go. Now, if you think about the ring topology, it's either the clockwise or the anti-clockwise. ඒ පාරවල් දෙකෙන් එකක හැම data එකක්ම ඒ පාරේ යනවා. If you think about the bus topology, each and every data should comes into the backbone and should travel through the backbone and should get into the another computer. If you think about the star topology, everything should receive at the central device, then should cross to the other way, right? But here in the mesh topology, if they are finding a very big data traffic in one particular path, they can use an alternative to reach, right? So then හරියට network එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ අපේ ඔය මහා මාර්ගයක් වගේ තමයි. It's like a highway, like not actually the highway that we are using. It's like a particular road that we can like a high level, right? So it is the only path we have to get into our school, right? So all the vehicles are like putting into that particular road, so we will be finding the traffic jam. But if we are having a lot of ways to reach our school, so vehicles will use the roads which are having less traffic jams, right? So then all the roads will be functioning and all the vehicles will be arriving at the destination without a very big traffic jam. So same happens inside the mesh topology, right? Since it is having lots of alternative ways to reach to another device, it will choose the path which has minimum data traffic, right? But the disadvantage is we have to spend a very big money on this particular mesh topology, right? Okay, is that clear, people? So we talk about 5 different topologies. Yes, people, is there anything? In Upama, I'll explain the bus topology when we are writing about it, right? And other than that, is that clear, everyone? Just give me a confirmation. Right, great. Okay, so let's take down these things. So when you are taking down, we have to draw the particular diagram regarding the topology using the circles, squares, and lines, not the actual pictures of the computers, right? So I'll help you so we can get the things down, right? So the first topology is the star topology. So it's better you have the heading, say network topology. Then you can have the first subheading called star topology, right? So then after, it's better you copy down the entire line, since it is having just one line. And when you are drawing the picture, it's better you draw it in the way that I draw the diagram over here, right? So please copy it down. Network topology is going to be the heading, and star topology is going to be the subheading, right? And then the content under it. And when you are drawing the diagram, you can draw it in the way I'm going to draw it here. Right, so this is a switch or a hub. So you can indicate the devices using circles, and it's better you name those things. PC1, printer, PC2, PC3, PC4, and PC5. Right, let me know when you are done. Yeah, one is done. How about others? Right, three are done. Is there anyone still writing this? Just let me know. Otherwise, we can move to the second topology. Okay, so I'm moving to the second topology. So this is the second topology, the bus topology. So yeah, so you have to write what is under the bus topology, each and every fact in the explanation is important. And in Upama, the bus topology means there is a central, others can write, right? And since in Upama need the clarification to be done again, I'm doing this for her. So in bus topology, there is a main connection which is working as the backbone, and it has two terminators at the edges. So this backbone is used to travel the data which are taken from the devices. So devices are connected with this in this particular manner, right? So whenever a device need to be communicate with another device, what it does is the data will be travel to the bus and will move along the backbone and will move to the printer in this case. You have to write the entire thing, Chanuri, right? So under the bus topology, the entire paragraph. Inupama, is it clear? Yeah. And we call the backbone is the single point of failure, because if the backbone get affected or got broken, the entire network will get affected. So all other computers, all the devices will be standalone computers if the backbone got affected, right? So when you are drawing the bus topology, so indicate the terminators and you can indicate the devices from the circles, right? And it's better you name those things again, like PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4, and let's take this as a scanner, right? And more importantly, just name this as the backbone, right? And this particular parts, these are called terminators. Let me know when you are done, people. All right, someone has done already. And people, just hear what I'm saying while you are doing your work. You have to be very careful on these days, people, right? So it's just like these are some 3 critical weeks that we have to pass. So be at home, don't go here and there, right? So if you stay at home for 3 weeks, right, without having like minimum contacts, we will be able to mitigate this thing. Otherwise, this is going to be like beyond controls, right? And recently, from a website which is doing a research regarding this COVID attacks, they have said something about the Sri Lanka, and they were predicting the situation in this in America, in USA, in the previous waves, right? And they have the prediction of them is like up to the pinpoint, right? So they were predicting if the America is like going on this particular manner, they in the future they will be go to this particular level according to the corona wave. So they have predicted something similar, like not like USA. They have predicted something regarding the Sri Lanka, and they were saying if this is maintained on this particular manner, this wave will be not go further than this. But if it goes out of control, the number of deaths will be like go beyond 200 per day, which is a worst thing that a country can face, right? So think about your parents, think about your brothers and sisters, think about your friends, and stay home, people, right? Because it's your responsibility. Yeah, it's our responsibility individually to protect ourselves as well as protect the selves that we love, right? So please have this into your consideration, right? And be safe, right? Ranuja, the fiber cables, it's like this, Pudha. It's according to the requirement, right? Then cables aduma තැනක් ගැන කතා කරන්න ගියොත් we can say it's going to be the bus topology, which takes the fewer amount of cables. But again, in the bus topology, we can't connect a lot of devices, like maximum up to 10, right? Otherwise, it will create a huge data traffic inside the bus, right? And if you need to get connects with 30 to 40 computers, the best way is establishing a star topology, right? Because it will allow you to set up the network in a very easy manner. Only a particular one central device is needed, and we need number of cables which is equal to the number of devices. If we have 10 devices, we need only 10 network cables. So it's just plugging the cables and or plugging the cable into the devices and the other into the switch. Easy to establish, right? Ring, we are not very much using that because there are some, comparatively the disadvantages are big in the ring. Mesh and tree, those are some expensive establishments, right? So if that is your requirement, then you have to go for that, right? Okay, so shall we move to the ring topology? Is there anyone still writing the bus topology? No, okay. So moving to the ring topology. So yeah, again, under the ring, you have to copy the entire paragraph because here they are just saying only the important parts regarding the topologies. And when you are drawing the diagram, you know how to draw it, maybe. I'll modify this little bit. And in this particular network, people, it's the PCs that is going to connect with each other. Right, so likewise, you can finish it. Risara, it's the entire paragraph, Buddha. You have to write the entire paragraph regarding the ring topology. And plus the diagram. Okay, one is done. All right. Several are saying they are done. Is there anyone still finishing this? All right. Can we move to the next one? Please indicate it.
Sir, please wait.
Very good, very good.
I am still right.
Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Go on, Buddha, go on.
Okay, sir.
Right, okay. Let's move to the other one. So the other one is the tree topology. Right, again, copy down the entire thing under the tree topology, right? And I'll draw the diagram. Yeah, likewise, you can complete the diagram. Right, one is done. How about others? Okay, one is done, two is done, and three is done. Is there anyone still writing? You people are quite fast. Good, good, good. Right. Shall we move? Please indicate me if there is anyone who is still writing. Right, okay. All right, so moving to the mesh topology. Right, this is the mesh topology. So please copy again what is with the paragraph, and you know how to draw the mesh topology neither. I'll draw it over here. Right, you can have separate connections for each and every computer, right? So this is called the mesh topology. So PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4, and PC5. Okay, let me know when you are done, people. Right, 2 are done. How about others? Okay. So is there anyone still writing? Otherwise, we can go for the benefits of networking. Okay, Samidu, I will, okay. Right, okay. I hope everyone is done. So let's go to the last part of this lesson, which is the benefits of the network, right? So benefits, yes, we are having these things in most of the cases, right? But we have to clarify what are these things are, right? So the one good benefit is the data and information can be shared between computers. So when you are like, if you're using a standalone computer, if you need to take some data to another computer which is not networked, you have to use a external storage device like a pen drive or a external hard disk kind of things, or otherwise you have to email it and or like share it in somehow, but which will be a little bit difficult, right? But if you are connected with a computer through a network, it is very easy for you to share the things, right? So it will take less time, it will take less hassle to do the data transmission or like data communication in between these two or more computers, right? So the next one, less storage space. Like when it is when the computers can be networked to be stored their data in a one particular computer called server, right? So in a network, we can fix a server computer and can configure the other computers, like we discussed in the client server architecture, ask other computers to save all the things in the server, right? So server will store the things uh, on behalf of all other computers. So we don't need separate hard disks for all other computers separately. If it is networked with the server, we only need to have a little bit big capacity inside the server so we can store all the data inside it. So how the less storage happens is like if we are having individual hard disks, like if you think about 1 terabyte hard disk, if you need 10 computers, we need 10 terabytes hard disks, right? So the capacity will be 10 terabytes. But individually inside a computer, they don't store the things at once up to the 1 terabyte limit, right? So 1 terabyte hard එකක් තිබ්බට ඒකේ සමහර ලාවට gigabyte 30ක 40ක data වෙන්න පුළුවන් තියෙනවා, right? So if you are search or if you are connected with a server, all those data will be taken into that particular server. So server may having a hard disk which has 5 terabytes capacity. So inside that, all the data which should be which are created through these computers can be stored, right? So we can have less storage capacity when we are communicate when we are networking. And ability to share resources, yes, that is one of the best benefits that we are having out of a network. So like we can share, right? So like sharing means you can share files, you can share the data, as well as you can share some hardware devices as well, like a printer, right? So you can connect a printer to a network and can allow to all other devices, all other computers actually, to take the printouts from that one particular printer. Right now, if it is not networked, it's going to get connect with one particular computer then, right? If it is not networked, so to have a printout, we have to take all the data to that particular computer, then we have to execute the printing command. But when it is networked, we can print from anywhere in that network using that same particular printer, right? So which is a very big advantage when it comes to the networking. And when it comes, the other one is the ability to control central softwares, or like I said, when we are interacting with the server, we can install the softwares into the server, then ask the client to use the softwares in the server, right? So client will log into that server machine through the client machine and will use the software which is available for everyone in the network. But like by the name, or like available for everyone means like the mama word document එකක වැඩ කරනකොට මගේ word document එකෙම නෙවෙයි අනිත් කෙනාට වැඩ කරන්න හම්බෙන්නේ. They will be having a separate word document, but the same software we are sharing, right? So we can use central softwares and ability to connect at anywhere and anytime. Now, this is actually, they are talking about the cloud storage. So as I told you, like internet, using internet means like we are in a network, which is the largest network we consider when it comes to the wide area networks, right? So when we are using the internet, it allows us to share the things in the cloud. Right now, if you take the Google Drive as an example, or OneDrive in Microsoft, right? So we can store the things into those clouds, and we can access that particular cloud through any device. So we only need to log into the account, right? So I have stored my details, my important details in my Google Drive. So I'm accessing through my laptop, I'm accessing those through my mobile phone as well as from my tablet, and I can access it from any device which has the internet connection, right? So all I need to do is just to log into that particular cloud storage, right? So it is available from anywhere at any time if you are having an internet connection. And the security, now that can argue in two particular ways. Now here we are talking about the benefit, right? So security can be given, like when the security is given by the network, it is protected beyond a standalone computer. Then අපි standalone computer එකක් ගැන හිතුවොත් just one personal computer, we can give the security like using a username and a password, and for viruses we can establish a virus guard, right, or antivirus software. But when it comes to the network, there will be firewalls to protect the network, and there will be some protocols to protect the network, right, as well as some high level access privileges can be given, right, and distributed or like some complex username and passwords can be used, right? So it has much more facilities comparing to a standalone computer, right? Regarding the security. And email, it is one of the finest communication mod that is available inside a network. It's very cheap, right? And you can like do many things with the emails. You can attach the files, and you can attach many different files, and you can have you can present the things in many different ways through the emails, and you can send the email to several amount of recipients at once, right? And it is very instant, right? So like taking a very short time to do this. So like email is a service that a network can do, right? Then අපි email කියලා පාවිච්චි කරන service එකක්, it is given by this internet, right? Not like we can't use that with one just single isolated machine, or like if we don't have a network connection between two machines, we can use the email facility. But in a network we use now think about and organizations like banks, they always communicate through emails. The major communication method is the emails, right? So email notibbana, they have to use a mobile phone or a land phone or some other communication method which will cost them, and email will cost them a very little, right? So it is one of the best way, or the cheapest ways of communicating through a network, right? So those can be taken as the advantages of the network. So uh, let's just list them out, right? We don't Yeah, there will be some points to be taken. I'll tell you what are those. Otherwise we can just list down the heading. So just have the heading called benefits of networkings, right? And as the first point, you can write this. Right, that's going to be the first point. People, meanwhile, can I know, is there any newcomers in the room? අලුතෙන් ආපු දුර පුතාලා ඉන්නවද? Okay, and seems someone is here. Yes, okay. Right, I will show how you are going to refer the previous recordings, Bhutan, right? And again, who do not have the textbooks with you still? Let me know who are they. Oh, 3 people raise hands. Oh, all right. Never mind. I'll still will share the screen with you all. 4, okay. All right. So the second example, the second point actually, yeah. So let's do it like this. Yeah. Second point, less storage space, and put a hyphen, and please write this particular line as well, right, as the explanation of it. And as the next point, write this explanation. You don't need to write ability to share resources, and it indicates from this. So just write that particular thing as the third point. Right. Okay. So moving to the next point. Yeah. It's better you write this explanation as the next point. And next point is this. Right. So moving forward. Yeah, regarding the security, just write this. All right. So moving a little bit up. And regarding emails, this particular point. Right, and yeah, is there anyone still writing these things? So otherwise we can go for the disadvantages. Right. I'm moving to the other part. So if there is still writing, just let me know. Okay. So let's move to the other part. So this is about disadvantages of networking. Now, when it comes to the disadvantages, people, so as I told you, the possible security issues. So security can be argued in two different ways, as a positive factor, as a negative factor. So when it comes to the negative factor, in case if someone access the network, he has the ability to access the entire network. So that means all the computers inside it, which is not good. And in case if a virus infected into a one particular computer in the network, so there is a possibility to spread it to the all other computers in the network since they are connected, right? So those kind of security issues will be there, right? And they have taken many precautions like establishing a firewall and having antivirus softwares, but still there is a risk. And breakdown of networks. So breakdown of networks can happen in many ways. Like when we are discussing the topologies, we talk about what are the single point of failures that they can have. To a star topology, is the central device. To a bus topology, it is the backbone, right? And likewise, uh, and in those cases, we haven't talked about the breakdown of the cables. Then network එක තියෙන ලොකුම ගැටලුව තමයි ඕක. Breaking down the cables, because these cables are very not like very delicate, but they are like laying in a place where users cannot be interact with those cables very much, right? Cables ටික හංගලා තමයි තියෙන්නේ. මොකද network cable එක එහෙට මෙහෙට නිතරම කරනකොට වෙන්නේ it gets weak. මොකද ඒක ඇතුලේ තියෙන්නේ තඹ කම්බි. ඊට අපි අර කම්බියක් එහෙට මෙහෙට කරනකොට එයා ටික වෙලාවකින් කැඩිලා යනවා වගේ. Network cables can be damaged if you step on it, or if you're passing those things every day, so it's going to get damaged, right? So that damage will give you many difficulties, right? The very big difficulties we are realizing that particular wire damage as the very last point. Network එකේ computer එකක් වැඩ කරන්නේ නැති වුණාම ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට දන්න කියන වැඩ කෑලි ඔක්කොම ටික දාලා තමයි පස්සේ හිතන්නේ network cable එක කැඩලත් දන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. Right? And viruses, as I told you, if one particular device is infected, all other is at a very high risk, right? And computer breakdowns. Now, when it comes to the computer breakdowns, they are talking about majorly they are talking about the server computer, right? So like if server computer break down, the entire network is not going to be function because all other computers are clients, right? So softwares, when we are sharing the softwares, like when we are storing things into the server, these things will not be able to perform if the server goes down, right? And it will be a huge loss if it cannot be recovered, right? Server එකත් එක්ක තියෙන connection එක damage වුණොත් we can establish a damage, we can establish a connection. But in case if server got damaged or server got blast or corrupted or something happens, then it's a very big problem because all the details are stored inside the server. So now server is damaged, so we won't be able to access that. දැන් මේ දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝට හම්බෙලා තියෙන එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එකක් නෙවෙයි සමහර වෙබ්සයිට්ස් වලට යනකොට server not found කියලා error එකක් එනවා 404 කියලා. right ඒක සමහර ගොඩක් වෙලාවට සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ connection එකේ තියෙන internet connection එකේ තියෙන ගැටලුවක් නිසා. But in some case, now think about like if the Google is attacked by some terrorists or something, some terrorist attack, we won't be able to find the Google again, right? So for that they are having a very big security plans and backups and all these things. But in case if it attacks by something and if it gets blasted, so there will be no google.com thereafter. Like there will be google.com, but we won't be able to access it and see anything because all the data is destroyed if something like that is happening. But they are having many different backups in many different locations in the world. So like it's impossible, right? But not literally. Like it's ගොඩක් කරන්න අමාරු දෙයක්, right? But it's not anything, it's not impossible, but it's very hard to do, right? And the training requirements, right? So to work with the network, to work with to have the experience to work with the server and working as a client, so you should have a proper practice regarding it. You can't just go there and just do things, because there are ways there are things that you need to connect with the network, and there are ways that you can access the files. There are some username and passwords are required to do that. So you should know what are the details that you have to provide to have the connection, and how to use that, how to save into it, right? It's a little bit different than when you are working inside a personal computer, right? So you should know, you should have that practice, right? There are some things that you can catch in a very simple ways, and there are some things again you have to practice more because the complexity of it, right? So training is required. Yeah, likewise. Yeah, so that will sum up the lesson. So let's quickly write down these things so we can end the session and we can start with a very fresh lesson, not the third one. I'm going to go to the practical lesson, which is the sixth one, next week when we are meeting, right? So let's quickly take this down. So please write the heading, disadvantages of networking, right? And yeah, it's better you write possible security issues and put a hyphen. Then after the hyphen, it's better you write these things, right? That is regarding possible security issues. And regarding the breakdown, yeah, it's better you write this. Right, so moving forward, regarding the virus, yeah, it's better you write this explanation as well as this. In Upama, like laptop crashing can be caused due to many reasons, though. Maybe because you don't have enough memory to do so. Maybe you are like trying to execute a program which is not uh, not capable inside your computer, right? Or maybe a hardware failure kind of thing. If the crashing happens frequently, like if you are getting blue screens frequently, it's better you take it to a technician so they will see where the problems are. So most probably it can be because of the memory insufficientness, so we call it memory dumping, or else it can be a problem with a hard disk, right? Hard disk එක පරණ වෙලා කියන අවුරුදු දෙකක් විතර වගේ නම් පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙන දෙකකට පස්සේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට hard disk වල ගැටලු වෙනවා laptop එකේ, right? So it's better you take it to the technician. They will say what actually happens, and if you got warranty, it's better you go to that place, right? So crashing can happen due to many reasons though. Can be memory problems, can be hard disk problem, or like in very rare cases, it can be due to the operating system issues. And if you got a cracked version of operating system, so because of that, crashes can be happen because Windows 10 update when I got a cracked version, yeah, at some certain point, it will make the operating system messy. Right, then after operating system එකට හරියට function කරගන්න වෙන්නේ සමහරලාට ඕන නැති processor start කරනවා, so it will lead to the crashes as well, right? So it's better you figure out whether it is a hardware issue or a software issue first, right? So the best thing is go for the technician. Virus attacks වලට වෙන්නත් පුළුවන් දුව, right? So it's better you show it to someone. Virus attack එකක් නම් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඒක reason එක වෙන්න පුළුවන්, if you can recognize whether there is a virus attack or not, right? Right. And Vihanga or Vihanga, right? I'll show you the ways that you can refer the recordings like when the session ends, right? So just hold on for 2 to 3 minutes, right? So people, the very last one, training requirements, right? Right, and with the heading, it's better you go with the explanation as well. Right, so once you're done with this, you can get disconnected. So have a good night, people, right? And with 2 to 3 minutes, I'm going to show you how to refer the all the lessons. So those who need to see how to refer the all the lessons, just wait, and others can leave, right? No worries. And have a very good night, and people, be very safe, right? Be very safe. So next week we are starting the practicals, right? So I'm doing the practicals for you. You will be receiving some practicals to do at home, right? So get prepared. Right, okay, Dilmi, thank you very much. Thank you, Binadi and Inupama. Okay, so is there anyone still completing the notes? Just can you just indicate me? Otherwise, I can go and show how the things are happening. Okay, good night, everyone. Risara, Metuli, Hasita, thank you very much, and good night. All right, so yeah, Rosira, thank you very much. All right, so I'm going to show how the recordings are being referred, the previous ones, right? So first I'll stop recording.